The world is a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And another week is in the books. We are already almost halfway through April, and the year keeps on coming with lots of great things to talk about. I have two of my right-hand people in Cara and Ryan here. What's up?
How's it going, Matt?
Hello, hello.
You know, just enjoying while I can. Simple as that. But first things first, let's talk about what's going on in our world here on another edition of the Tweet Cap. All right. So I'm really excited to talk about this. Are you two aware of the group known as Are We Dating the Same Guy?
There's a lot of those groups.
Yeah, a
I'm
lot
in a
of
few of
groups.
them. I'm in the one for my city, Prince George. I'm in the one for my past city, Kamloops. I'm in an Alberta one. I'm in a BC one because I like seeing drama.
Ooh.
And I also am aware of the concept. Again, there's a lot of them. I'm not
Yeah.
in any, but well, I guess I should
Yeah,
say
yeah.
that. I'm not in any on purpose, I suppose. But
Mhm.
so
So I was introduced to this concept just a couple weeks ago, and I had to dive deep into it. And I thought we would just talk about these groups, but there happens to be a story that just broke in the last couple weeks related. But let me explain. Let's talk about Are We Dating the Same Guy? For those who don't know, it is a series of over 200 individual Facebook groups where women share the dating profiles of men they match with on dating networks to seek the opinion of other women who may have dated them in the past. The first group was created by Paulo Sanchez and involved women living in the New York City environment. The groups have over 3.5 million members as of this January in 2024. It is done by taking screenshots of men's dating profiles and posting it on their city's designated group, asking NET, I guess. I guess before you do, you put the guy in and you write NET. And I'm
Yeah,
just
or
going,
sometimes not even a profile. Like if a girl starts seeing a new guy and she thinks maybe he's a little shady, they'll just post a picture of his face and say like, "Anybody know this guy? Should I be
hmm.
wary?"
Oh man, I hear that. And other users of the group then share the information, right? And this is moderated by volunteers. The groups do have rules saying that personal information such as addresses must not be included in the Facebook posts. And users attempting to join the group are also examined to prevent postages of fake profiles. And they say most of these women are straight and coming to commenting on guys on this for those who don't know. So, and you want to know how I found out about this? So I have a very, very good friend, and I'll protect him this time. So he was part of one of these groups in New Jersey, and he was exposed, quite frankly. And then I learned about this. I look for more research, and then I find this story coming out of Los Angeles, right? And here it is. Are we dating the same guy? Lawsuit dismissed. So dozens of women call. So this is out in Los Angeles. Fox 11 Los Angeles it says here dozens of women called him a bad date and talked about him online. The first of numerous lawsuits filed by Stuart Lucas Murray against more than 50 women were dismissed. The judge in LA ruled in favor of the defendant, name is Vanessa Valdez, and the plaintiffs argued that they did nothing wrong by posting their opinions in a private group called Are We Dating the Same Guy? And the judge found no evidence of conspiracy and granted anti-SLAPP motion, which prevents abuse of legal system to silence individuals who speak out. So interesting stuff here. This guy clearly was embarrassed. And
I mean, that just makes it more embarrassing for like a bunch of people make funny and say this guy sucks, and then you like bring it to the public eye and you go, all these women think I suck.
and well, it seems to the legal system didn't save him, and he probably has some trouble out there. But I guess these Facebook groups have been a thing. I was fascinated by them and seeing also my friend getting exposed. And I'm just wondering, do we think this is, I'm sure if I was on that profile, which I hope I'm not, I don't think I am. Um, but I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I understand, especially in the dating world, where people are coming from, especially to point out, hey, stay away from this person. But you just wonder too, is it too far? Is it fair? I think it's an interesting debate. What do you think about these groups? You think it's fair to have them on there?
Oh, I mean, I can only speak of like the groups that I'm in. I'm not sure about other ones, but all the groups that I'm in, if anything negative is said about the guys, that is uh like it can't really be supported, or people are arguing it or whatever, like the mods come in and say we can't put people down for like stupid shit. Like if a girl comes in and insults some guy's hairline or some shit like that, we like they don't stand for that. But then on the other hand, I've seen a lot of cases where women have probably been saved from really bad situations. Like this is an extreme case. This is probably the worst I can think of. A girl was seeing a guy for a few weeks, posted his photo there, and it turns out he had recently gotten out of prison after shooting the mother of his children in front of their children in a driveway 3 years prior. And she had no idea.
Yeah.
Or I've seen women post pictures of their like black eyes and injuries caused by that man when they were dating them like years or months prior. Things like that. Like it's usually not so much like this guy is he's a bad tipper, he took me on a shitty date. It's usually to do with cheating and abuse. So if you're not a cheater or an abuser, like the worst you'll get is he's kind of dickish, you know. And a lot of times I'll see girls post a picture of a guy and people will go in the comments and say, oh, he's one of my old friends. He's a super nice guy. Yeah, this guy's super nice. I'm happy for you. So, you know, I haven't seen anything bad in the groups. And if I do see anything bad, it's moderated pretty quick. But then again, those are only the groups that I'm in. So
I was gonna say, like, yeah, I don't. I mean, the actual name of the group you said at the beginning is "Are we dating the same guy?" So, like, infidelity is the point. It's not really about like, does this person suck? That probably comes up.
yeah.
But in terms of like, I don't know, if you're a guy out there and you're worried about these groups, but we just heard like from someone who's on these groups, and I would, from what I understand, I think this too. Like, it's mostly people who are in really bad, like the people who are getting called out on these are usually pretty bad guys. So if you find yourself in that group of people and you really don't think that that fits your description, maybe just take a little stock of how you've treated your last several partners and say, how did I end up on the list with like cheaters? You know what I mean? But in terms of the actual lawsuit, I'm glad I got thrown away. This was very clearly a nuisance case that this guy was using to silence women. I'm just going to put it out there. This absolutely, the anti-slap absolutely makes sense from what I understand about that ruling. The only reason he was suing was because he wanted women to stop posting, and he wanted people to fear that if they did post about their bad experiences, they could lose money. He was basically trying to force women to stop talking about him with his money, and that's horrible. And you know what? It explains, I think, perfectly
Yeah, it
how he ended
seems.
up on that website.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm glad that that particular case ended that way. I'm not going to say that there's no guy ever that's been put on there, but it's the same with all these. You talk to guys and they'll talk as if they're they're the center of all of life's great tragedies. I won't pretend that there's not a nice guy now and again who maybe goes on a couple of bad dates and gets dragged to one of these sites, but mostly it's people who will sue women to get them to shut up or hit
Yeah, it's
hit their
like
girlfriends. Like, it's mostly the most of the time it's not you. And if it is you once, hey, listen, man, that's how it goes, and then you'll just move on.
yeah, like the good outweighs the bad, I think, especially when it's helping a lot of women avoid potentially very abusive relationships.
Mhm.
Like I would say the vast majority of posts I've seen have been helpful in a way. Or just like complimenting the guy also. So
And I mean, I think about it. If you have friends and you start dating someone, you absolutely talk about the person you're dating with all your friends, right? You go a lot of times it'll be on a social media chat, right? On an like Instagram chat or a Facebook Messenger, and you'll say, just started dating so and so, and you'll send a picture or send the dating profile. And what if one of your friends goes, "Oh my God, I'm also dating that person." It's the same exact
Yeah.
thing. It's
Yeah.
literally the same exact scenario. The difference is it's not on this particular, like, the only difference is the location. It's not on a certain page. It's just, in your chat. So no one would have any problem with friends texting about the people they're dating or chatting online about the people that they're dating. So the fact that people have a problem with it now, I think, is either a lack of understanding about what these groups mean, or buying into the manosphere dog whistles about what these groups are trying to do, or just they're bad guys. I would say it's one of those three things. Like, you either don't really know what's happening, you've been lied to about what's happening, you think it's bad, or you're a problem and you don't like that you're being a problem is being shared.
Yeah, that's something that I just wanted to understand a little more. Now, my friend who was in this, I'll be on his side, but did have it coming, if you will. And so, but I won't say a bad thing, but I can understand why he ended up here. But she took it, but she used this, she made a fake dating profile after this because there were other people who commented it about him and bad and negative situations. So she took it on another level after. I didn't think she should have made the fake dating profile and wrote the spamming part. But I understand what you're coming from, especially the checkup, and especially in this world, in this dating world that's so unpredictable, and you just need many buffers to really learn who a true person is. That I completely get. Just don't don't use that as a reason to exceed it to a bad level, which only a few people will, and those people are crazy. But the idea of the group just for getting the filters is a great idea, and I completely understand that.
I'll say, like, I don't know the situation. We're not going to talk about your friends specifically, but if you are just a normal, if you see yourself as a normal person, right? And you end up on one of these groups and you find out, right? You find out that there's a list of people who are talking negatively about you. And let's say they don't go overboard, right? Like, I'm not sure what you mean by creating a profile, but let's say they don't do that, whatever that is. And they just comment on a picture of you like, nah, stay away from this person, self-obsessed, or like whatever negative things they're saying about you. Like, the thing is, not everybody is on these sites. I think there's like a pervasive like idea that, oh, everyone's gonna see this. Not everyone's gonna see it. You can just change for the better, and yeah, maybe that place is always going to have negative things to say about you, like those people. That's what happens when you make a negative impression. But if you change for the better, if you look at what's happening and being like, oh, everyone thinks I'm selfish, try being a little less selfish and see what happens. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you might get, like Kara said, you might get people to be like, oh, really? I dated him for like 2 months, and actually he was really nice, or he was very funny. Like, it's not the end of the world to have someone who doesn't like you. I mean, people don't like me all the time. Obviously, I'm not dating any of them, but still. And I think, and all of us, we're all online, so we've all had someone have a negative thing to say about us. I'm certain. It happens, and you just ignore it, and you learn. I mean, if there's something to learn, you learn from it. If it's just how big your forehead is, nothing you can do about that. But you just learn from it, and you grow. I don't know. I just feel like, unless you're really doing something wrong, like, I mean, like,
Right.
violent wrong, this isn't that huge a deal. Even being on it's not a huge deal. You know what I mean? Because you could change the behavior, or what I
maybe
mean?
it's a life lesson you learn. Like, maybe I have to change my ways.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I see a lot of disagreement in the comments too. Like, a girl will say, usually when it's not on the severe end, if a guy's abusive, usually the comments are just straight up, stay the hell away from this guy.
Yeah.
But if he's just
And
like,
rightfully so.
yeah, but yeah, like you said, if he's like maybe just a little self-obsessed or something, a lot of times a girl will comment that and somebody else will say, well, I dated him pretty recently and I didn't get that kind of vibe at all. It just, yeah. I
And,
see, I see
honestly,
disagreements.
and it makes it kind of harder for the women. So now you're there, you have three different people with three different experiences. So you go on the date, and now you're like looking for signs for now you're looking at signs for everything. It's honestly probably detrimental more to the women than it is to the men at that point, right? Because someone said he's self-obsessed. Now you're looking for signs, but someone said he was, very funny, had a good sense of humor. So now you're trying to, listening for jokes. And it's just, I could see it actually being kind of a hassle for the women involved if they're trying to balance like 6 different people's impressions of this one person into their first impression. But again, I don't think it's a huge problem. And I am glad this suit got tossed because this suit was, I think this suit was very ugly.
Goofy.
I would go beyond goofy. I wish I could say goofy. I wish I could think that this guy was just a clown who didn't understand how the courts worked, but I think he did. I think he sued because he wanted these women to stop talking about him. I mean, to me, this suit sounded like, shut up, woman. Genuinely, that's how I would read the fact that he said they don't like me online, so I'm going to sue them. I have to see it as he maliciously wanted these women to shut up because he didn't value their voice. And so I'm glad. I mean, frankly,
Screw
if there's
him,
a way,
man.
I'm saying if there's a way, they should go after him. But I don't think there is. So
it's kind of interesting. There are similar groups for like the male sphere on Facebook, or there have been attempts at similar groups, at least in my region, that quickly get deleted or banned from Facebook for like hate speech reasons.
Yeah. I mean, let's just like,
I can only imagine what they said.
Call a spade a spade. I mean,
I've seen some screenshots and I cannot repeat like any of it. Probably.
I know how young men, younger than me, talked.
The bros talk, if you will.
Right. So I can't imagine.
Like I just think of my brother. My brother. Yeah, my brother. He's kind of red pilled, or is that what it's called? Yeah.
I think that's right.
He's a dude.
Yeah, he says the only real men are those who are working to like build our country and the women who take care of them.
Wait, the women are the real men?
Andrew Tate.
I don't know.
The only real men are the women who take care of them.
That's what he said verbatim on his Facebook account.
Interesting. The real men are women.
The real men are the women who take care of the men who are construction workers and working on the oil fields.
All right. Well, there you go. So if you're a woman, just know you might be a real man.
Well, it's just another, it's just another layer of the online dating world. I actually have 3 dating related stories. I had a 4th, but I figured I'll save that for next week because it's evergreen. But it's just, well, I should say not all dating in general, dating in love. I figured we'll save that for another time. But it's just another thing, Now you can have if you don't step up, or you could be reviewed, if you will. But at the end of the day, it shows. Exactly. And if they give you a review, no matter positive or negative, to still be you. But of course, if it is negative, you could make a change. But you know what I mean. But it just is what it is. But don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because you might find the one. There's this TikTok trend I'm seeing of people who may not be conventionally as attractive, in other words, ugly, and they're now showing their significantly better looking significant other. And they took themselves out there by the conventional standards of life. Mm-hmm. People would be surprised if they saw them together, but it happened. And that person put themselves out there, and I assume it's healthy. So that could be you too. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there like that. And then you too can share your love story on TikTok.
Exactly. Just got to be authentic. It'll work out.
Girls like goofy guys. If you just be yourself, be a little goofy, usually you can land like 10 out of 10 babes.
I will say, if you're not goofy, and if you naturally,
if you're rich,
don't. If you try to be goofy and you're not naturally goofy, then
I feel like I know where guys end up if they're trying to be funny and goofy, and they don't like that. You end up on a Facebook group at that point.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one.
Just be yourself. Authentic self is always the best way to go. And you know what? How many times have you seen a movie that everyone said is bad, and you're like, you know what? Kind of liked it. That could be you. You could be the movie the critics say, 1 out of 10. But someone saw it and said, you know what? I had a good time. And that's all you need. And now you're a cult classic. So I just be yourself. That's my advice on all of that. Is just be yourself. Don't worry about the reviews. Obviously, of course, if you're abusing people, kick rocks. Yeah, kick rocks. Yes. But,
Very well said. Now let's talk about the end of a love story. The Golden Bachelor, someone we've actually talked about on the show. It was announced last week that the Golden Bachelor couple, Gary Turner and Teresa Nist, are getting a divorce. The couple who fell in love on the first season of The Golden Bachelor last fall before tying the knot in January, they decided to call it quits. Their marriage lasted 3 months. Oh, I mean, well, we didn't see that one coming, right? And it seems like this was a result of where they wanted to live, but who cares? But it still proves no matter what generation you're in The Bachelor, it might be hard for you. It's still hard. Wait, let me repeat that. No matter what generation you're in, love might not find a way on The Bachelor.
Yeah, I think this means that show has to go away now, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it was a fun like little side quest for a season, but it didn't work. And I'll be honest, if I'm 60 something years old and I'm actually looking for love, I'm looking at this and be like, well, I guess I'm not doing that anymore. I feel like recruiting for this show. I mean, you know what? There's never going to be a shortage of people who want to be on TV, even if they are 60 something. But there is less people at 60 something who will do literally anything to be on TV than there are 20 somethings who will do literally anything to be on TV. And so I do think it'll be harder to recruit for the show now. I do think the show probably has to go away. But man, we make fun of it all the time. And by we, I mean Matt. But Love is Blind. You know what they do, Matt?
Last a
They
month,
recruit.
last a week longer.
No, they
And these
recruit.
people-
No, ready? They recruit in the same city. Everyone's from the same place.
I have a question. I
How's
actually haven't really seen The Bachelor much. Do they have any like real world dating simulation like how Love is Blind does?
No,
No?
very much fantasy wise. Your first date is going to be on the beach with a horse coming in,
Yeah, violin.
and you're getting then a violin. Yeah, so real world,
It's romance.
no,
It's a romance novel. Come to life.
Yeah,
And
like
then-
at least
yeah.
like Love is Blind is trash as well, but like at least, you
It's-
get to
Well, but
know them
probably
a
just
little
leads
better.
to insane sex.
But
That's what it leads to. Insane one night stands.
And Love is Blind, honestly, bare minimum, they're all from the same city, so they don't have to fight about where they're gonna live. He's from Indiana and she's from New Jersey, I believe.
Yeah, right.
Of course how is that gonna work? At 67, they both have full lives. They're gonna just move somewhere else. She's just gonna move to Indiana. He's gonna
That's what
move to New
ABC
Jersey.
told. That's what ABC told us how this is
I
going to
know
work.
that.
But
I
we're a
know what
bunch
they
of
said.
suckers. Fall
I
for
know
it
they
every
said
year.
that, but I'm just like, of course they're not at 60 whatever years old gonna drop their whole life. They have grandkids. They're not just gonna leave their family to move to Indiana.
But that's what
Excuse me,
Jimmy Kimmel
like-
told us was going to happen.
I know what Jimmy said, but Jimmy was wrong on this one. It's the idea that it would ever work is insane. That's why I'll give Love is Blind credit. Everyone's from the same place. That's
There's
taken out.
been some lasting couples on Love is Blind.
Oh yeah, there's still married couples from I think every season, at least one.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe there was some edge on that one.
But this was just to show you, I think, that The Bachelor is not real life, and
Nope.
that's why people like it though. That's you're not supposed to have real life.
And
right?
again, no matter what generation you're in, either that's one revelation. At least I thought maybe the older generation would have some little
Yes.
higher standards, but no, not even.
No, this
and
was
if you actually
yes,
watched the show, you saw it's the same damn thing.
Well, yeah, it's fake. They scripted it that way.
Like the hook, literally them hooking it up is the same way in your 20s, then your 60s, and
Well, yeah.
all the stuff that goes on, but older and
Older. No, it's yes. I thought maybe I was with you, Matt. This would be the one, all a little more mature. They could actually get something going, and no,
not
but
even.
they didn't. Again, they were never going to get over the geography. It's the least surprising thing ever that the geography was a problem for them, because it was a problem as soon as they met.
Now let's talk about another divorce. Everybody
Oh, good.
knows the soccer player Kaká.
I do.
I do not.
I think he's Brazilian. Well, Kaka was in a very loving marriage that came to an end. Also, this guy makes hundreds of millions of dollars, big deal. And his wife, Caroline, divorced him. And they had a statement for the Brazilian football player, his childhood sweetheart, if you will. And they got married in 2015. But she said here, quote, Kaka never betrayed me. He treated me well. He gave me a wonderful family, but I was not happy. Something was missing. The problem was he was too perfect for me. And that's the end of that. You were too perfect, Kaka. We haven't done it in a while, but we'll do it one of these weeks where we had the reasons why you don't want to be with somebody, the ick. Too perfect. Check mark there. Oh man, doesn't that stink? You are too perfect. I mean, I do get the something's missing, everything was right, but something's just not there. I do get that. It's just the he was too perfect line.
I feel like maybe could she have said that to like make it a bit like not bring him down in the public eye, you know what I mean? Like maybe there was something going on behind the scenes and she's not going to want to reveal that because maybe they still care about each other, but whatever it was, maybe she's not worth it to bring it up, and so it's just better to say he's a great guy, you know, too perfect.
I was gonna say we should probably look into this further. I think at this point, one of them is going to say something about this quote, right? Like the quote someone's got to give it more context than we're getting, because I don't care who it is. It's not too perfect. It could be too boring. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing wrong. I'm just bored. I could see that. Like, and I could see how if that's the case, then you might just be like, I don't know, like, yes, he makes a lot of money. Yes, he looks great. Yes, he's a good dad. Like, but everything was just too perfect. It was too much of the same. Like I could see that, like how you get to too perfect, but I don't believe that she genuinely means, no, I loved everything. He was perfect. And so I left him. I think it could be, it was the same old. I was getting bored, you know, especially you just said childhood relationship, not having a ton of outside experience, maybe getting like an itch they wanted to scratch. I don't know. But there's no way that they meant too perfect. Like there's the same, it'd be like if they said too nice. Oh, he was too nice. I broke up with it. Like when girls say that, they don't mean too nice. I will say that.
Yeah, they're usually just too uncomfortable to say the real reason why.
Right. And the real reason could be something as simple as just a boring dude.
Yeah, I just find him boring. Or
but nothing was wrong, you know, wasn't mean, wasn't bad. Just so you go with, I could say most boring person I've ever met, or you could say just too nice for me. You know what I mean? And so I'm getting that vibe. I'm getting that it was a boring thing and not an actual perfection issue.
That's where a lot of the guys who say, you know, like nice guys never get the girl, like girls don't like nice guys, because a lot of girls when they're letting a guy down will say you're a really nice guy, but because, you know, they're trying to soften the blow, there's reasons why specifically they do not like you, but they don't want to like hurt your feelings or, you know, make you look bad.
Right.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I get that part. Some sparks just die out. But whether or not we hopefully don't find out that it's nasty behind the scenes. But that's a quote of the year. He was too perfect for me.
Hey, you know what? If they confirm, if they're like, no, I meant it. Too perfect. I needed imperfection. Then you know what? That's wild. Absolutely. Let's add that to the list of the ridiculous icks. But I will say that my guess is, like Kara said, perfect was just a nice way of saying boring or, you know, inattentive or something to that effect. That's my guess.
Definitely. Now let's go from love to lust with this one. Kai Cenat, the streamer. We've done stories about him as well. Last time he was on the pod, he got arrested for inciting a riot, but I guess that just died away. He just got away with the felony like that. But
it wasn't a big riot.
Oh, it wasn't big enough to worry about.
It was a small riot.
But Kai Cenat back making some news, and this is just hilarious. So let me read to you what Kai Cenat did now. So Kai Cenat is suing an OnlyFans model for leaking messages of him paying to have sex. So few things problematic here. One, you can't pay for sex. That is illegal. Number one. Number two, him actually suing and making worse. It's hilarious. And I'll actually show you some of the leaked text messages, which also invasion of privacy, another thing broken. So we'll see how much we could do. So we clearly see here for those listening on the podcasting platforms, this happened in October. He asked, "Are they letting you out?" She writes, "Yeah." And he I guess you Apple Cash Venmo $5,000. He said, I bet that you know what down there is so good. And then she says it's still not dry
Slick.
too. And then she replies how she has him so verklempt, if you will. Not to get too out there, but she's right here, the OnlyFans model, showing pictures of him knocked out. And I don't think these were AI generated. If you could see Ryan and Carr right here.
No, I don't believe they are. And there's clips of the actual act, right?
Is there? I didn't go that further in the research, but silly stuff of this exposing. And Kai Cenat now trying to get justice from this OnlyFans model / prostitute.
Yeah, the issue is that, there's an old saying, Matt, right? That two wrongs don't make a right. We've all heard that.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you've slept with someone, right, and then you put images of that person at all, be they full videos or images of people sleeping or just stills of the act itself. If you have images of someone like that and you post it without their consent, that's not okay. That's definitely not allowed. And it seems like that may have happened here. I'm not fully sure. I know the texts are very clear, but the images that are accompanying all the texts are far less clear as to who they are and what's going on. And I'm not going to pay for OnlyFans for someone I don't even know to find out, right? But also, you can't pay people to sleep with them. That's also illegal in the United States anyway. And so this is the two wrongs don't make a right. I don't know how you can sue, because in the process of suing, you'd have to be admitting to hiring someone to sleep with you. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I mean, I guess no, the texts are pretty clear, right? I mean, the texts are pretty clear.
He says,
I will give you X and receive Y, and of course Y is, favors.
$5,000 too, not cheap.
Apparently the OnlyFans content creator is asking for more. I don't know if that's true or not.
Like,
but,
someone like, if you're that famous, you do not have to pay for sex.
I think that's probably why he's so upset about this getting leaked, because it makes him look like a beta male.
and makes her look like one of the real men who run this country.
I mean, oh, also a little Canadian tidbit. Sex work is decriminalized here, so it's legal to sell but illegal to buy. So that if you're a sex worker, I actually have a friend who is, and my mom did her taxes, and the number on your taxes that you have to put down for your career, for escorts and party planners, it's the same number.
Hey, it's a party.
Yeah, they don't know which one you are, except maybe when you list your expenses as lingerie, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, and to be clear, I'm not actually insulting anyone who's actually involved in that industry.
Yeah, but leaking stuff like this, I mean, it's in a way it's kind of revenge porn. Like it's
very much so.
Yeah,
especially
it's
if
messed
there's
up.
info, right? Especially if there's info, especially if there's actual images of him. If it's just these text messages, it gets a little bit dicier, because again, in the United States, it is a crime. You could quite literally just be reporting.
And wait, on her OF, does she have a nudity containing him in it, or?
I thought so.
Because on OF, you they're extremely strict. You cannot show somebody unless they have an account or they've submitted their ID to the site. So I
That
don't
I
think,
don't know.
yeah, because she'll get in huge shit for that.
Then
Yeah, I think
perhaps it
both
was
of the are
posted
they
somewhere
trying to
else.
cancel each other? I guess these lawsuits might even cancel each other out.
Let
But
me see.
everybody, this could have been prevented. I do not know why somebody had to get exposed like this when they needed to. It didn't need to, but it's just hilarious. Again, this guy got away with inciting a riot. Well, didn't get away with it, but it doesn't seem to be in as much trouble. I don't know. So maybe he'll get away with this too, and people just forget because that guy's everywhere. That Kai Cenat. He's
He
grown.
is.
He's funny. He's funny.
I wonder if perhaps it's not on OF. Perhaps there's just some sort of clip of them together on another social. If that's the case, I don't know that it is revenge because I don't think it falls under that category because there's nothing there that would be construed that way. You know what I mean? Like it's just text messages and a picture of them together.
Yeah, yeah,
So like
yeah. I
it's
meant
so
like if there's like nudity of him.
right. That's what I'm saying. So I do think if it's not if I mean you're probably right because I don't know the terms of OnlyFans, right? So if there's no way for that to be on OnlyFans and it's not posted anywhere else like any nudity, then he
Yeah,
probably has no case. He
unless he
probably
has an
truly has no
account,
case.
because you have to basically submit a form of consent to appear in
Right.
anything, or you have to have your own account that is verified with your ID.
Right. So yeah, that's the only thing I can think of then is that it must
So,
be
by the
posted
way,
somewhere
not to
else.
interrupt, but I do have quotes from these two if you're ready.
Oh,
Sure, let's
yeah.
hear him. Let's hear him.
So, first, here's Kai's reaction to this. Here we go. Nope. Here we go.
Got you.
Him celebrating the suing.
Hey, listen to me, okay? I can explain, bro. Listen to me, chat. I can explain, bro. I can explain, all right, chat? Some weird shit going on right now. Some weird clout chasing shit going on right now, bro. And you know what's so crazy? You know that shit was in the beginning of 2023. All the shit that y'all see right now, it's 2023 shit, bro. You feel me? Like, god damn, bruh. But yeah, we're not gonna talk about it no more. Let's not talk about it. Cleanse flowers, rainbows, ice mice. Come on.
That's his official statement. And the actual OnlyFans model here is has a response too.
Oh, we taking people to court? Well, shit, I'm ready to take you to court, little P. Diddy Jr. Fuck you talking about? You tried to sell me to one of your homies and all that shit. Don't forget about I got all that in the teeth too. Receipt for that too.
Well,
I just don't understand why she's coming out with like. Is it just for clout?
I do have some info on that.
What?
So according to Complex, there's a back and forth exchange between the creators. It began when Red, so that's the OnlyFans creator, posted a photo of Cenat in bed with her. So there is a photo of the two of them together in bed, not engaged in any activity, just them in bed. She says she only spoke out because he still owed her $5,000 in hush money for the encounter, in addition to the $5,000 that he paid in order to initiate the encounter. So if I would have got my money, I would have shut up, she said in an undated video that's circulating online. Then he's gone on record saying that he only paid for a $50 Uber ride through his Apple Pay transaction. He did not pay $5,000 that she claims she received from him. Mentioned that they signed a non-disclosure agreement and that she was opening herself up to legal issues for speaking out on this interaction. So I'll be honest, I think the only true thing that Kai Cenat has said is that there probably is an NDA and she's probably violating it. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But yes, she's saying that he owed her $10K, only paid $5K. And if he just paid the second $5K, none of this would have happened.
I mean, if I was in her place, I would be pretty fucking salty, considering that he's like super rich.
Yeah. He goes on to say that the NDA protects me from everything that we've ever talked about. It's cool though, because you let it out, right? He said in a live stream, not only did you sign an NDA, but you also, while I was sleeping naked, decided to post a picture of me online. Now, what do you call that, ladies and gentlemen? So he's saying that the image of him in bed, because he's not wearing any clothes, although you can't see anything, still counts.
So she like broke that and no longer is entitled to the 5K?
He's calling that revenge. He's going with revenge, a revenge case based on the picture of him in bed.
Again,
I don't know. That feels like it'd be hard to convince a jury of that. My opinion.
This was so preventable.
Yeah,
Oh,
5K. Apparently it was 5K preventable, but
Yeah.
but not this time, I guess. All right, let's switch it up again. Have we seen this viral meme going on? Hold up.
yeah.
As you can see, that is me participating in the Lil Yachty AI meme trend right now of him performing at an outdoor festival back in 2021. And that was really hard to find, but easy to figure out once you actually did it. So you could go in this AI site called Viggle. They have an open Discord. Then you write a ticket and a picture of yourself, and then you could be part of this trend too. We've seen people do the Joker. We've seen people do Tom Thibodeau, the New York Knicks coach. I've seen CM Punk, the wrestler. I've seen a lot of people do it, and it's very fun and it's cool. And I've been watching this video for like a few years. It's pretty cool. It was pretty cool already. Lil Yachty doing that and going hard. And now it'll forever be linked to one of the coolest AI memes. Here's an example of AI doing stuff for good. Don't we like that stuff?
I don't know for good, but not for harm. You know, it's a fun internet like viral sensation. Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. Honestly, I've been trying to figure out how people keep making them. So I know. Maybe I'll make one. We'll see.
So you have Viggle.ai and
yeah.
you just join the Discord and then you just put a ticket in with your photo. And then you just had to figure out how to do it, because I've seen a lot of people in the Discord write photo, not knowing how to do it. They just write pictures. They send pictures and they say, "Where's my video?" And by the way, this does it for a lot of different trends. Like,
yeah,
you could do the Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man 3, put your face into that. I've seen other movies being reenacted. It's pretty cool. Shouts to Viggle.ai until it's only a beta right now. So until they charge people, do it while you can. And you could be like me, performing in front of hundreds of thousands of people like that.
AI is just also, though, like, so many people can use it now. It's just really, 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 it's interesting. Again, if everyone was just going to make that meme, then it would be fine. It's just that that's not what's going to happen eventually. But I don't know. I think it's very, very interesting the way that it's taken off and how easy it's become to use, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to find AI. There's this site. Starts with an S.
SAI.
I don't know. There's this AI music maker that's I'm pretty sure it's also like not finished yet, but it's pretty crazy the stuff that you can make with it. I can't find it right now.
Oh, I'm trying. I've been looking hard to find a music AI app.
I'm going to my history because I definitely went on it because it's crazy the stuff that you can make. You just give it a prompt. Like, I'm pretty sure, but my boyfriend's name is Jeff. I gave it the prompt like dark rap about how much I love my boyfriend named Jeff, and it gave me a 1-minute song that was funny as hell.
There's a bunch of things like that.
Yeah,
I'm looking for the AI that makes you sound good. Like, it auto-tunes you, but even better.
I don't know if that exists.
Well, it does. I've seen these ads on TikTok where I can sing a country song and it sounds beautiful. I've been too lazy to actually look into it.
I've never heard of that. Yeah,
it's pretty.
I know
cool.
The ones that make Plankton sing songs. I like those.
Yeah, it basically would do that for you. Like, if you
the
want
one I
to
was thinking of is called Suno.
Suno. I have not heard of that one either. No,
Yeah,
I know the Plankton songs. That's all I know about AI.
You mean Glorb?
Is that the name of the AI that does it?
No, well, there's a dude on TikTok that's he's probably on other places, but he's on Spotify. Like, he's like legitimately, he puts out like bars, and then there's like this whole SpongeBob verse lore behind it, and the music is actually kind of good to listen to. It's just stupid.
But they're like original songs.
They're the original songs, just
Gotcha.
put into the voices
No,
of
so
the
this
characters.
this AI just takes pop songs and has the SpongeBob character sing them.
Oh, okay.
Which is also very fun because so obviously they've run the voice acting through the AI machine to come up with the songs, and Plankton, the character from SpongeBob, is frequently yelling at people. Like that's how he communicates throughout the entire show. So when he sings, he's got the most gruff, almost rocker voice
We're
that anyone's.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Like the
that's
Diamonds in the Sky is a great
well,
one.
that one's a great one, not because it's good. Some of them I think are actually sound kind of good, but that one it goes too high, and so it just becomes a scream. Uh, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I know what you're talking about. I've heard those on TikTok too.
yeah. I
You
love
sh-
those. I listen
You
to
should
like 20
you should look up Glorb sometime, dude. It's
Glorb.
Yeah, it's genuinely funny how good some of the bars are. Like there's a line that a lot of people tout as being like one of the best lines where Squidward says, my trigger finger fast, Ramadan, because you fast during Ramadan.
Yeah, that's a good line. I do like that. Fun stands or oh, I won't say that. Fun, funny, how you never gonna play me. Fun, I have had enough. Now hold up. Read that backwards. Fun, huh? Yeah, I'm going crazy. I'm a big sponge, you dish. Okay.
Wait, is that a Glorb song?
Yes.
I don't think that's one
Fun.
I'm thinking of.
It's Fun by Glorb.
I feel like I'm trying to think of what like his best one is.
Intro. Dankton does the intro, then Sponge Op does the chorus.
And look how
Yeah,
far
he's
AI has come. Are we right?
Oh yeah.
I don't know about how far. Again, far would indicate we're fixing problems. I don't know if the people who created AI anticipated Dankton and SpongeBob being its its signature creation, but I'm glad that that's what happened because I thoroughly enjoy it.
Someday, right? Someday. All right. Have you also saw this Mike Wazowski TikTok trend where you just go up to an older person and ask, "Do you know who Mike Wazowski is?" I've seen it a lot in the New York area. Obviously,
I've seen it a lot with like Italian
yeah.
kids going up to their Italian parents and they're like, "Oh, Mike Wazowski, yeah, I know that guy. He's down the street. That guy that lives in the red house."
Even though Wazowski's Polish, but you're exactly that. I've seen that too. Mostly Italian people, like the ones I've seen, like the New York-based ones. It's like, yo, hey, Dad, do you remember Mike Wazowski? Who, from Brooklyn or Queens? Like, who the fuck is he? You remember Mike Wazowski? And he had his buddy James P. Sullivan.
James P. Sullivan.
They called him Sully.
Sully.
Barbara, tell me, do you remember Mike Wazowski? Was he in seventh grade or something? I don't know. I love how stereotypical it is, and people love making fun of Italian people. So it's continues a tradition there.
I bet you it works on everybody. I mean, Italian people might have the funnier accents, and so they go viral. But I bet you any old person, because if you ask them, they don't want to be like, no. So they're going to just be like, trying to think of who Mike Wazowski is.
Yeah, the funniest ones are the people who actually say, yeah, I remember him. He did this.
This person.
Remember he bought this house and stuff like that?
I saw one of this dad, this daughter asked if he knows who Mike Wazowski is. He said, yeah, you stay away from that guy. Do you remember what he did to his wife? Like, that guy's messed up.
Oh, no.
This person said he was probably in my homeroom. Is he from Staten Island? Actually, the full quote, is he from Staten Island? He was probably in my homeroom. Which is a really good Staten Island response to that, I feel like. But yeah, some people are asking like from Queens or whatever. And that's lying. You can't say that because now they're thinking, all right, from Queens. You've got to just say Mike Wazowski. That's my opinion. It's funnier that way.
Oh, you love Monsters Inc. always staying in the mold, right?
If I asked my mom or my dad, they would just go, "No, I don't know who that is."
Yeah, my mom would not play along even a little bit. Or actually, honestly, my mom remembers like ridiculous things. So there's like at least a 30% chance she'd be like, "Wasn't he the guy in Monsters Inc.?"
Yeah.
There's which would be a really funny. That'd be like a funny TikTok to put out there is parents who actually have seen Monsters Inc. And know
I
who
haven't
Mike
seen that one
Wazowski
yet.
is. No, I haven't. Everyone has locked in on Mike Wazowski
Somebody
from
else.
Homeroom or that scumbag Mike Wazowski. You saw what he did to his wife. No one has been like, isn't he the
Jeez.
one-eyed monster from the Monsters Inc. series? But
So Conan O'Brien was on Hot Ones last week, and it probably is the greatest Hot Ones of all time. Nobody is a bigger Conan O'Brien fan than me. If you go on productiveconversationspodcast.com, I wrote a specific blog dedicated to him. And I knew for a fact when I saw he was coming on the show, it would show his brilliance in comedy, how talented he is, just how great to be around. How great you want to just be around this guy. And at 7.5 million views on YouTube, it shows why he is forever one of the greatest of all time. He has his new show, Conan O'Brien Must Go. It's on HBO Max. I've watched it. I watched the 4 episodes available. It's genuinely a great show. And that's what he was there to promote. And 2 months ago, our girl Sydney Sweeney was on Hot Ones. She got 5.6 million views. She's one of the biggest movie stars in the world. Conan O'Brien, 7.5 million.
I really do like the Hot Ones concept. I think it's fun. This is not the first time anyone's gone viral off of Hot Ones, although Conan, of course, did really well. The Paul Rudd thing comes to mind. That's a funny one. And
there's
Jennifer
definitely some
Lawrence
images that will last forever from
Idris
that.
Elba.
Idris Elba.
But I really like Hot Ones as a show.
That's the hot sauce question asking show. Okay.
Yeah, they have to ask the questions while they're eating the wings.
And I know he specifically would do well with it.
Yeah, I mean he did do well with it, but I think it's kind of interesting. Like, I feel like hosts are not always great guests, right?
No, I totally agree with that.
But I think that Conan did a really good job as a guest too. Like, he was funny as a guest, in the same way. Like, it's one thing to be funny while you're asking questions. It's another to be funny while you're answering them, and he managed to do both. So that was kind of cool. I've never seen Conan really do an interview before, so I do like that. My first one had him, sweating like a maniac.
Or did you see he has both? What was it? Did he ask who do you think is the most boring president? And he had a great answer for that.
Yeah. Well,
Like
I was
Monroe or something. Guy who
it was probably, what's his name? God, I don't remember what he said now.
But either way, he's brilliant. He's so brilliant. Obviously, if you saw his late night show, his the 3 versions of it, late night, Tonight Show, and then just Conan, always just the most brilliant at everything he does. And he clearly knows how to connect with all generations now. If you're able to get 7.5 million views for the Gen Zers, and he surpassed one of the biggest movie stars in the world for his HBO Max show, which I highly, highly recommend. It's like Anthony Bourdain, but funny. Seriously, brilliant stuff from Conan. And that is truly the number 1 dream guest on the show. It's Conan O'Brien.
I mean, yeah, Conan is definitely
just so intelligent, so witty, just so brilliant, everything. I mean, I'm showing my true fandom there, but that dude right there, if I'm ever truly sad, I watch Conan stuff because he's so damn good. One of the reasons why we're on this podcast, quite frankly, is we have a podcast because Conan Needs a Friend, another brilliant show. The podcast, an interview-based podcast for him to meet new friends. Simple as that, and then you have a great 1-hour conversation. It's everything. Celebrity interviews, athlete interviews, WWE interviews are great. When he does interviews politicians and historians, it's on a whole new level, and he's a Harvard grad.
I wish he didn't already know of Eric Andre, so he could be thrown onto the Eric Andre show and see what happens.
Oh man, that's a dream one.
He can't really, because he's already aware of the concept, so it just wouldn't work as well.
Eric said that he interviews people who don't know who, if he's anyone he's ever gotten, they don't know the joke. So
Right.
But
Yeah. you
anyways,
can't
I
interview someone
like
who
when he
knows
got
what's happening.
Jimmy Kimmel on there.
or Seth Rogen's real phone number, Lauren Conrad, gross. But yeah, that's a great one.
Real phone number.
Eric Andre's been on Conan's podcast a few times, and his show is great too. I'll point that out there. Conan's the man. Seriously. Number one professional influence, Conan O'Brien.
And I'm just
Conan
glad
and Letterman.
that we can talk about Hot Ones better now. Because last time we talked about Hot Ones, it was a negative story. So I'm glad Hot Ones is a fun show. People should watch Hot Ones. Yes, we will have to check out that episode.
He
about
brought
the
a
host.
doctor on.
Well, it wasn't a real doctor,
But still.
Yeah, that's funny.
Gave an actor work. See,
well, that's
shows
what's
his
funny
brilliance.
is like Conan, like he does the character all the time. I think that's pretty clear. I doubt that Conan is really.
Oh, I
Conan.
really think he's that witty from.
Oh no, witty!
From
But
that,
I think
I think he's
it.
that he. From other interviews, and seeing how people react, they say he's truly the funniest person in the room.
Oh, I believe that. I mean, I think he does I think he's always.
Does he take it up a notch?
Yeah,
I think he does with both. I think he does that privately too, because hearing like these Reddit stories about him, people who worked for him, like there was, long story short, he had this one intern at the late night show, meets him at the beginning of the internship, shares an elevator with him, and says this joke like, "Oh, you better not kill me." Then at the end of the internship, 3 months later, he goes in his crazy Conan voice. He said, "We're right here. I'm glad you didn't kill me." So I think it does. I think he knows clearly when to turn on, when to turn off. But I do think he's that unique.
I was about to say, what do you think? If you're always in character, is it a character, or is it just who you are now?
I mean, like I said, watch his show, and I think your answer will be made. There's a new one on HBO Max. Conan Must Go. Okay, I'm about to show you a picture. Right? Hopefully you don't know who this is, but we'll ultimately see. So here it is. All right, just 1 second. All right, not gonna finish the song. All right, here we go. Who is this?
A white woman.
Yes,
I recognize them.
So I am showing a picture for those listening of a white woman, probably I would say in her 50s, pretty woman, brunette hair, seems pretty normal looking person, right?
Kind of looks like the mom from Malcolm in the Middle.
Nope.
Okay.
What other guesses? She is an actor.
I got nothing. I mean, I barely know the names of actors.
Ryan, want to take another guess?
I mean, an actor.
Is it bugging you because you recognize her a little bit?
All right, I'll tell you.
I recognize her a lot, a bit, but I don't. I thought I had it right.
I'll tell you her name.
So. Okay.
But you still have to guess who she is, if that makes sense. Her name is Susan Bennett. What is Susan Bennett known for? Pulling up a video right now.
It's an actress, right?
Oh yeah, an actress.
Okay.
I assume he means like.
Trust me, you know who she is.
The name sounds familiar.
I know for a fact I've seen her face at least a dozen times. That face was super familiar to me, and I just don't know why. But
oh man,
I'm gonna guess it's a commercial or something, like something that you see all the time, absent-mindedly. Because I feel like if it was like a main character or something, I'd remember, right? But it must be some sort of like commercial or something that you just see and you don't pay any attention to. But I genuinely don't. I couldn't tell you if I mean, I don't. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
I can't tell. All right, I'm going to show you a clip from CNN New Day 10 years ago to reveal who this person is.
10 years ago. Okay.
And trust me, you will be amazed. All right, let us get this going. All right, who is Susan Bennett?
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is exactly where I know that name from.
I am the voice of Siri.
There she is. I kind of got
Wow.
chills. Her
There she
name-
is.
Her real name
Susan
is
Bennett.
Susan Bennett. She's here with us.
Susan Bennett is the voice of Siri. You literally have heard her voice. I would almost every single day since
Yeah.
your iPhone 6 or something. How about that? Isn't that crazy?
I kind of want to know if she's been in something because I really recognize her face.
Oh, she's been in stuff. I'm looking at her IMDb right now.
I'm like, I actually really recognize her face too. But that, I mean,
you
could you
recognize her
imagine?
face? She has the most famous voice in the world, arguably.
But it seems like
No, I
it's all
know.
voice stuff.
Yeah, it does. Look at this. I will say
She has
this.
a face that looks like it would be in like early 2000s
Oh.
and 90s movies.
She was in My Friend Dahmer. Who'd she play there? Doesn't matter. Listen,
Yeah.
can you imagine you get the call and they're like, we're gonna need you to be just your voice. You're gonna talk for a phone. That was before any of this had happened. Like any of this existed. Siri was the first, right? So like,
Essentially, yeah. Siri, Alexa,
yeah.
and that's it. I don't know what other voices.
So like, you have no frame of reference as to like how this is gonna go. Like, do you get royalties on it still? No, probably not.
Oh, I haven't gone deep into that.
Sum. I just think it's crazy because you're right,
Maybe.
Matt. It's one of the most iconic voices ever now, and I bet you that she hasn't seen a dime from that since she originally recorded it for probably way less than something that came to define an entire product. By the way, because remember when they for a while, like when they introduced it, the iPhone's whole like shtick was "Okay Siri," right?
I'll never
like
forget.
every commercial had it. Like Siri was the brand when it
Oh, like the
first
big
happened.
like
It was
like
the
the
big
step
thing.
up.
Yeah, it
The
was the thing,
iPhone.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the first time I saw Siri. I must have been junior or sophomore at Norwalk High. Hanging out with the great Jack Patterson. He's like, "Yo, Matt, watch this," and he talks in his phone. "Hey, Siri," and he asks for some fact. I was like, "You could do that with your phone?" And I remember I had like an iPhone 3 trying to, and it wasn't working. And then, you get it. And I thought like, man, I have Siri now. This is brilliant. Text Ryan or what's the weather for today? And then all these years later, as my Siri has opened on my iPad, all I use Siri for is the weather. What's the weather for today?
I barely use it.
Yeah,
use
I
it.
only use it for the weather and to like ask a cooking question here and there if my hands are dirty.
Man, but that is the voice. Regarding her compensation, I'll leave that to be a mystery. I'm sure she could get a lot more because literally her voice is everywhere. But interesting stuff, and maybe that's exactly why they went on strike for those fights and royalties for those who lend their voice, and you can just make it so accessible like that. So interesting stuff there. Now let's keep it positive. Have you ever heard of Francis Bourgeois?
No.
No.
Oh my God. This guy honestly gave me some hope in humanity. Francis is known as the Happy Train guy on TikTok. Let me just show you.
I know Happy Train guy.
Yeah. All he does is show his passion for trains. Now let us watch it.
I love this guy. He's so cute.
Yes, I think so too. Let us watch Francis find one of the biggest discoveries in his entire life. And it shows why no passion is ever undermining. So let us watch how happy a train makes this guy Francis. Here we go. Look at this.
For the first time in my life, I'm going to be seeing a Class 52 Western on the main line. It's a locomotive I've only ever known on heritage railways. So it's going to be like the equivalent of seeing a lion in a zoo and then seeing it in the wild for the first time.
With
Look at
Western
that.
Champion ready to go,
What a
disaster
great voice.
struck.
Oh no.
Yeah, and
A
he always
Class
has the camera on his
172
head.
completely blocked my view. With the Class 52 Western arriving imminently, we had to run over to the other
Amy,
side.
Amy, this way.
Is that his girlfriend there?
Yes.
Careful, the ground's slippy.
slippy.
Oh.
Careful, the ground's slippy.
Okay. We're okay. Oh my word. Oh my word. Holy sh!
Look at this moment.
Tony is in the cab.
You can see he's looking at the train now.
All right. I'm so happy to see this. All right. Here we go. See ya.
What a moment.
Yeah, a lot of the conductors know him, so they'll honk at him when he stands on bridges as they go by.
How can you not get romantic about stuff like that?
See him? He could never have anything negative posted about him in an "Are we dating the same guy?" group.
Seriously, and it looks like
man.
he's taken, and finding somebody who supports your passion like that is beautiful.
Listen here. I've never been that excited about anything ever.
Oh, come on, really?
I mean,
not even Cody winning, finishing the story.
No. I mean, I think
or
I'm
getting married.
I think I'm legally required to say getting married, and so I suppose we'll have to lock in that answer. But truthfully, I've never been that happy about anything in my entire life.
I think it's an autism thing because I am obsessed with like everyone I know who's autistic, me included, has like something. Like it's to varying degrees. He's really obsessed, but like everyone I know has something that they hyperfixate on to a certain extent. Like I'm mountains. I love mountains. Me and my boyfriend are looking for houses, and my only prerequisite is that I have to be within walking distance to mountains.
I love these top comments from C Jeezy, 37,000 likes. Will I ever understand this hobby? No. Do I respect the joy it gives you? Yes. Number 2.
I mean, yeah, you can't fight that guy was having the time of his life.
Careful,
Truthfully.
the ground is slippy.
Oh, yeah. Careful, the ground's slippy. I love that.
Marry this girl if you haven't already. She didn't know where she was going, but she was going to get there fast for you.
Yeah, that's true. She's like, up the bridge, fine. Over the other side, fine. We're gonna see this train. We're gonna see this train.
Probably the only other train to be that besides any of my commuter trains home is if I saw a real life Thomas the Tank Engine, I'd probably get that excited. And his squad. Oh man! Now look at that. Look how happy. How can you not be happy?
Yeah, it was infectious. I was laughing.
Yeah.
I don't care at all about that.
And the suspense, though, it's a literal short film. For a second, there was legit conflict.
There
Will he
was
see this
conflict.
train?
I don't think
they
that was
pulled it
on
off.
purpose. I don't think that was on purpose, but there was conflict in the film. So yes, it did give you
What
something
a great
to like,
voice too.
Yeah, it does have a very good like a very like a nature documentary voice, I feel like. Kinda.
Yeah, I agree. I could see him narrating something.
Yeah.
Like a
narrator,
documentary about trains.
I mean, that would be you know what? That'd be the best use of him. For sure.
All right. Last thing today, we're going to play another game here. It was released for this year by the 2024 Food and Wine Tastemakers. 2024, according to Food and Wine 2024 Global Tastemakers, say that 5 times in a row, they made a list of the best cities for food and drinks in the entire world. Why don't we guess what are the top 10 cities for food and drinks?
Tokyo?
Last time, just 1 second for that. The last time we did this, we did the best cuisines by heritage.
Yeah,
but this is actual best cities. Yeah. So let's start the list. Dolo, right under that, give us a top 10 list of the best cities and food for drinks in the entire world. Yes, Carl, you got number 1. Tokyo at number 1.
Kyoto?
Kyoto is 11. So no, not top 10.
Missed it by a bit. All right, we'll probably need to do an Italian city. So I'm gonna say Rome, because
that's right. Rome is 6. Rome is 6.
I think Paris.
New York.
On there.
Paris is 4. New York is not on this list.
Ooh, that's a bad
I feel like
call.
there's a lot of diversity.
Yeah, that's a bad shout from the list
I
makers.
feel like this won't be on there, but I just need to know Vancouver.
No Vancouver.
Okay. I'm
And
like, if
did
New York's not on
Did
there, then
somebody guess
Vancouver wouldn't.
before New York? I heard New York and then Paris. Was that the one?
Paris. Yeah, it was
Yes.
Paris and New York at the same time.
Okay, Paris is 4. New York is not on this list.
Let's keep it in Canada though with Montreal.
No Montreal.
Now, if
There's
New York's
13,
not on, is
but not
there
10.
is? Can I have a hint? Is there anywhere in Canada on there?
Not in the top 10.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I know because Montreal has some what's it called?
No,
Have
no,
some
if-
famous spices and whatnot.
if
that are pretty well
Vancouver's not on there, then nothing's gonna be on there from Canada.
All
used.
right,
So
that's-
Vancouver is number 1 in Canada. Good to know.
we do have
all right.
we have one more North American city
North America
in the top 10.
We have not named a single city in the United States, so it has to be one in the United States.
So it's not New York.
I mean, it could be a southern city with like barbecue. We could be looking at Nashville.
I should probably save some time. There is not one city in the United States on this list.
Okay, perfect.
Mexico.
So it's in Mexico then, if it's North America. So
Where in Mexico?
I mean, we'll start Mexico City.
That's it. Number
Okay.
2.
The only one white people know.
Yeah, let's say most people who make a list would probably have been to Mexico City. Just before we continue, list makers. No.
The
not
global
the call,
tastemakers.
yeah.
If you want to write at tweet cap, write a
At
tweet to the
TTCap. Explain to
the
me how
global
New York
food
didn't
and
make it.
wine global tastemakers, and yes, no New York is here.
I would argue that
Not
New
even
York,
in the top
New Jersey
13.
and Connecticut all have better pizza than any place in Italy. So
Oh, that's a bold take.
at TTweetcap. Let's hear about it. All right, moving back. So,
Is there any African cities?
it might be. My
No.
problem would be naming the cities.
That's
No African
unfortunate. That's
cities.
unfortunate.
That's another bad call. This is horrible. This was
Yeah.
just 17 European countries and 3 Asian
Then again,
countries.
I feel like a lot of people don't get a lot of they don't get to try a lot of African food.
Is it London? Because I'm not going to continue to participate. London's on this list.
No
Okay.
London, but you would understand. Honestly, these other places do make a lot of sense. You just have to really think.
Let's do Athens. Greek food.
No Greece.
Naples?
No Naples.
We said Paris. We said,
Yep.
what about like Berlin or something?
No Berlin.
Ireland
Me-
has not.
You
really
mentioned
good
a Japanese city. There's one more Japanese city, but it's not Kyoto.
Oh,
food. Tokyo,
really?
Kyoto. What's the one Sapporo or whatever where the snow is?
No Sapporo.
I'm saying it wrong too. So, but
Sapporo?
yeah. Another Japanese city?
Osaka?
That's right. Osaka,
Okay.
number 9.
Osaka's number 9. What about Seoul? Stay in Asia for a second.
No Seoul.
Huh.
Hong Kong,
No Hong Kong.
Shanghai?
Shanghai. Yeah.
Just going down the list.
Nope. We got one. All right, from what's left, we have one in the Middle East. I guess you'd say Middle East, but it could also consider it as Europe.
Tel
South
Aviv?
America, no Tel Aviv.
I was gonna say, you gonna put Israeli food on there? I feel like that's not
That'd be a hot take.
usually at the tops.
Um,
European. Turkey?
Yeah. So
Someone in
yes,
Turkey?
you're on the right track.
Istanbul.
That's right, number 2.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I've heard they have very good food. Actually, that's true.
Mhm.
So the rest are gonna have to be Europe, right? Or I guess Australia could have what? Sydney.
Melbourne?
No city.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in Australia, Sydney or Melbourne. If it's neither of those, I'm assuming Australia's not on the list.
So again, as I'm
Um,
looking here, we have a South American country,
Mhm.
a Asian country, another European country. 2 European countries are left.
Oh, Bangkok?
No.
That could be it.
No, is there no city from Thailand on there? That's surprising.
Let's
No,
move.
no.
Let's
Thailand's
move
like almost known as like one of the food capitals of the world.
Rio de Janeiro for Brazil.
Ryan, you talked about a Chinese. This
Sorry.
place is not China, but it's 74% Chinese The language is 74. It's speaking 74% from. Sorry, 74% of the people speak Chinese. But this isn't technically a independent country.
Wait, Mandarin or Cantonese?
No,
That won't matter to me anyway. I don't know the difference. Wait, you said technically it's its own country?
yes,
Taiwan?
no.
No, okay. We could get canceled for that. And we said no to Hong Kong too. So what else is disputed territory?
Somewhere in Nepal?
Tibet? You're trying to think
All
of
right,
Chinese?
It's Singapore. Singapore's the next one.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
Singapore's at 7.
Anyway, what about Rio?
No Rio.
Brazil's not.
No South American countries in the top 10.
Is there an Indian city?
No other one. No Indian city. This next one, you have 2 8 and 10s left.
Yeah.
Both very famous for their food. We'll go with the 8. Seen Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
He might have spoken in one of the
Moscow?
languages.
Moscow? Russia?
No.
Russia.
There is a cross. There is a cross on the There is a cross on the flag.
What, Sweden?
No. What's the
Switzerland?
other? What's another one? No.
Finland?
No.
They all have crosses, by the way.
A lot of them have crosses.
Scotland?
This turns out to be the hardest list we have figured out.
Yeah, I mean, trying to
This
think of
takes
just
place
crosses
in
this way.
Denmark.
What, the Netherlands?
Name the
I didn't say
country.
that, yeah.
What's it? No, you
The
didn't
Netherlands.
say.
Isn't Denmark in the Netherlands, or is that its own place? Oh, no, Netherlands is another country.
Yeah,
Denmark
exactly.
is,
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck is a city in
Copenhagen. Copenhagen's number 8.
You could have given me 12 tries.
Oh.
I'd have never guessed Copenhagen. A,
Okay.
because I didn't remember Copenhagen, and B, because there's absolutely no way the 8th best food in the entire world is in
Copenhagen, and there's not one city from Africa or
Absolutely.
India.
Number 10.
Barbecue.
Number
Or
10 is very
Thailand.
famous. Number 10 is very famous for its food. This should be much easier.
Okay. I doubt that because we've been striking out really hard.
It's a Latin country.
Spain.
Where in Spain?
Oh, duh. Well, it's got what? Barcelona?
No.
Madrid?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it. Number 10 is Madrid. Number 9 is Osaka. Number 8 is Copenhagen. 7, Singapore. 6, Rome. 5. Oh, we didn't do this 5th one. You're at number 5. Another Latin country. What is it?
But Latin in Europe?
You have to guess. It's either Europe or South America.
Well, yeah, that's where the Latin countries are. So
Very famous. Very, very famous.
we said it's not Rio. What about what about
Very
Santiago,
iconic.
Chile?
No, not Chile. Your
Havana,
boy is
Cuba.
your boy has one of these heritages in him.
I just said
B.
there's no way that's wrong. It's got to be Cuba, Havana.
No Havana. No Havana.
But it's Cuba, so it's definitely in Cuba.
No, it's not Cuba.
Then who's my boy?
Me. I'm not Cuban.
Oh, your boy. Oh, Peru. What's the city in Peru?
Probably the only recognizable one. But yes, the right country.
Lima.
Right country.
Lima.
That's
Lima.
right. Yes, Lima.
Name any city in Peru, Ryan.
Lima, Peru, Paris, France, Mexico City, Mexico, Istanbul, Turkey, and Tokyo, Japan. That is, according to the global tastemakers, the best place for food and drinks in 2024.
I disagree with some of those options.
I think maybe I disagree with almost all of them.
I think Tokyo. I could see that being top. Yeah.
Tokyo makes sense. Rome being on there makes sense. Paris being on there makes sense. Istanbul actually makes sense. No, Copenhagen shouldn't be in the top 50.
I feel like there has to be like an Indian city, a Thai city, and at least one place in Africa.
So I have the top 13 here, and the other 13 was Montreal, then Lisbon at 12, and Kyoto at 11.
Nah, this list is booty. No one on that list has ever had barbecue. Also, it said food and drinks, right?
That's right.
Who's doing drinks better than the Germans? No one. Hear
I
that
know
again?
it's that food though.
Yeah, but
That's
drinks,
holding
food.
him back.
You get a
It's holding him
bratwurst.
back.
That's a good ass.
But I think the range of food that is good also matters.
You do gotta keep it to Bavarian pretzels and bratwurst, but you do that, you got great beer with you. And again, all of the South, for all of its many faults, has got very good barbecue.
When I went to Atlanta, that's the only time I've ever been to the States. I went there for a League of Legends World to watch a game with my boyfriend and his friends, and the peach cobbler was so good. I didn't think I'd like it because I hate fruit dishes. I hate mushy fruit, but that shit was good as hell.
Georgia peaches.
Exactly. The American South being not on this list is quite frankly inexcusable. And I would have excused it if New York City made it, because New York City is a melting pot. It's got plenty of good barbecue, but it's got also, I would have excused it if they said New York's just got so many more options. But the fact that New York didn't even make it, and then you give the American South its due, absolutely not. Trash list, don't listen to it.
Maybe they're looking at like places that have a lot of like Michelin rated restaurants.
Well, at T Tweetcap, you let me know.
You got to write to Global Tastemakers.
I will. What's their at? I'm gonna tweet them as soon as we're getting off.
Global Tastemakers, I guess.
I have to find their Twitter, I'm going to find their Twitter, and I'm going to let them know that we reviewed their list, and I found it severely lacking in barbecue, very specifically.
No doubt about it. But great way to end it off. Great show, Ryan and Cara. We'll see you in a week. Thank you so much.
See you, Matt.
See ya.